Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. It's Motivation Monday and we're almost at the end of another month. March is almost over. April is just around the corner. But before we get to April, let's close the month of March on a strong note. And I want to share with you a message that I believe will help you. The message is, it's time to move from dormant to dominant. We all go through different phases in life. And sometimes we're going through a phase where we may be in a state where we're dormant. We just want to fly under the radar. We want to go unrecognized. We want to stay out of the limelight. We just want to be in a place where we can recover, recuperate, and the goal is to come back stronger. The challenge is sometimes people get comfortable in a place where it's dormant. Sometimes in a dormant state, they become very unproductive. They lose sight of their dreams. They lose sight of their goals. They lose sight of the things that they were pursuing in life because they have become dormant. They find themselves stuck in a temporary place that they're trying to make permanent. I want to push you. I want to motivate you. I want to encourage you to get to a place where you regain your passion, you regain your drive, where you want to become dominant and you want to shake off the shackles of being dormant and you want to go after your dreams. You want to pursue your passions. And this is why this message is so important, because you have to make a choice. This is where you decide how you want the rest of this year to go. Do you want the rest of the year to be like the first 3 months where you really didn't get anything done because you were in a state where you were dormant? It's easy to become comfortable when you're in a place where no one is bothering you. Everything is just going smooth flow. You're not being challenged, but it's a place where you're not growing. You're stagnated. The dormant place is a place of stagnation. You're not growing. You're not thriving. You're just surviving. Well, I want to shake you up a bit. I want to push you a bit to regain your focus to get to a place of dominance. Joseph comes to mind, the prince of Egypt, the dreamer. Joseph had people around him who had a very dormant mindset. They could only see so far. They only wanted so much, but Joseph had dreams and desires to have more. And because of that, instead of those people celebrating him, appreciating him, elevating him, they began to depreciate him. Listen, where you are, if the people around you are in a dormant mindset, you can listen and hear the way they talk, the way that they respond, the way that they acknowledge things. They just barely want to get by. When you're around people who are in a dormant mindset, these are the people who don't want to challenge things. They're comfortable with the status quo. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to challenge anything. They just want to live an average life, get to retirement, sit back, and live out the rest of their days. They really don't have any big dreams. They really don't have any big hopes. They really don't have any aspirations. And you are a dreamer. You have desires. You want to do things. And they're looking at you funny. And you're wondering, is it you? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not you. It's them. So you have to make sure that regardless of what's going on around you, that you're keeping your dream alive. Joseph was hated for his dreams. He was hated for his desires. Why? Because people say, oh, you think you're better than us because you want to do X, Y, and Z. You want to own your own business. You want to get this degree. You want a bigger home. You want a better family. You want more income. You want a better ride. You want to get out of the hood. You want to get out of the ghetto. Oh, you think you're better than us because you're going to college. You're getting an education because you want better things out of life. Oh, you think you're better than us because you're climbing the corporate ladder and you're getting promotions. And if you're not careful, you'll step back into a place where you're dormant, where you want to fit in. But no, you got to challenge yourself. I have to keep my dreams alive. So what, they criticize you because you want to make more money. So what, they criticize you because you want a better education. So what, they criticize you because you want to be successful. You want to start your own business. You want to run your own corporation. It's okay to be dormant for a while where you're punching the clock and you're answering and you're the assistant and you're the backup. But there comes a time where you have to be dominant. You have to rise to the occasion and possess what God has put in front of you. Grab hold of the promise. Joseph didn't lose sight of the promises that he had, the dreams that he had. And regardless that his family turned against him, his family ridiculed him, his family criticized him, the people that was closest to Joseph, who you thought would support him, who would push him on, who would promote him, were the people who were speaking against him. Joseph ultimately fell in a place where he became dormant. He fell into a place where it seems as if his dreams were about to die. He found himself in prison. And regardless of the fact that he was in prison, in his mind, he had a mindset of dominance that one day he would get to the palace. Joseph the dreamer found himself in prison where he was subjected to be in a state where he was dormant. But that didn't change the fact that he was still a dreamer. That didn't change the fact that he still had a vision. That didn't change the fact that one day he wanted to be dominant. So he started networking and talking to people around him, sharing his dreams, sharing his vision. And people like, oh, Joseph, you're gifted, man. You're talented. You have what it takes. And Joseph was saying, well, listen, man, when you get to the top, remember me. But it's so sad that people who promised to remember Joseph forgot about him. Listen, with your dreams and your desires, sometimes you got to push forward with no one around you, no one to cheer you on, no one to support you, because this is your dream. This is your vision. This is what you want. This is what God has promised you. So you have to keep pushing. And after a while, Joseph got a break, and Joseph had to make a decision. Either I can stay dormant or I can become dominant. Regardless of how things look, Joseph didn't lose hope. Joseph kept believing, and the moment finally came where he got a break. He went before Pharaoh, and he told Pharaoh about his ability. He told Pharaoh about his talent. He told Pharaoh about the tools that he had to be successful. And that moment, Joseph had to decide, I can either stay dormant or I can become dominant. I can step into my purpose. I can step into my destiny. I can step into my element of creative genius. He decided to make the step from being dormant into dominant. And Pharaoh said, you are the one, you're the person that I've been waiting on, that I've been wanting to promote. And Joseph became the governor of Egypt. Listen, I'm telling you, when you're persistent, when you're pushing, and you're ready to get out of a state where you're dormant, where you're restricted, and you're ready to get into a place of dominance, doors will begin to open for you. So I'm going to share with you these five principles of becoming dominant. One, you got to assume control. At all times, you have to make sure that regardless of whatever else is going on around you, you are in control. Decisions that are made, some of those will not impact you. You have to turn those around and look for the lessons that you can learn so that you can have a benefit. And that's how you maintain control. You have to tell yourself, I am in control. Regardless of the manipulators that are around me, they don't control me. They don't control my decisions. They don't control my emotions. I'm in control. And because of that, I'm going to assume the control. I'm going to make the decision on how things are going to work out. Two, character is key. Don't change for anyone. Don't change who you are. Don't go against your core values. You are who you are because of what God has put in you. And regardless of how people feel about it, they want you to conform to the way that they do things. You got to stand up and say, no, this is me. I have to be true to me. This is my character. This is who I am. I'm not going to lie to get a position. I'm not going to cheat just to move ahead. I'm going to be true to me. Three, master endurance. This is not a sprint. This is a journey. You have to understand that I'm in this for the long haul. This is not a 30-day program. This is not a 90-day program. This is a lifetime program. And you have to understand that I have to endure. You got to endure the test of time. You have to endure the trials. You have to endure the naysayers. You have to endure the haters, the people who don't believe in you. You have to endure. You can't give up. You can't throw in the towel. You've come too far. You have to keep pressing ahead. 4, control your emotions. You have to keep your emotions balanced. You can't make certain decisions because you get upset and you get angry and you just want to lash out and you want to shut things down. You want to close the deal. You have to control your emotions. The same thing with being too overly happy. Oh, everything is going good and you think you've arrived. You got to master your emotions. You have to control your emotions. Sometimes we make decisions because we're upset, because we're sad, or because we're overly happy. And those are sometimes the biggest mistakes we make in life. So we have to learn to control our emotions. 5, and I'm going to close out with this. Take aggressive action. Wow, we have to move in faith and not fear. Dr. Martin Luther King mentioned something about the urgency of now. Sometimes we got to strike right now. We have to strike while the iron is hot. We can't wait. There will not be another day like today. We have to move while we have the opportunity. We have to put fear behind us and tell ourselves that I'm going to take a step of faith. Regardless of what happens, my objective is to get to a place where I'm dominant. I'm restricted in a place where I'm dormant. I'm barely breathing. I'm not comfortable here. This is not who I am. It's time to break out. It's time to take the next step to become dominant. You were created to be dominant. You were created to dominate your space. You were created to dominate your area of expertise. You were created to dominate in your area of creative genius. Let your light shine. Let the world see what you have. You go out and dominate, close strong, win strong. Let's finish the month of March on a strong note. Have a great day, and I'll talk with you another time.